Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone is having an amazing Saturday. The month of May has definitely gotten away from us, but I feel like I've had a pretty productive month thus far. So, one big update that I have that I'm really excited about is that I have completed my May craft jar pick. So, it took me about a week and a half to complete. I was just really excited about, this being my first craft jar pick. I really locked in and completed it. It did definitely help that it's double crochet and I used weight 4 acrylic yarn, so she worked up pretty fast, faster than I anticipated. But here she is, and I will insert a photo, please. Not too much on my ends that I do not weave in. But here she is. Miss Meant to Be. That's not meant, but I think she's pretty cute. I will say one thing two things that I'm a little annoyed about. One, somehow I missed a V-stitch in the back, if you can see, and it looks like a hole. I don't like it. And then two, I don't really like the drape of it. So you'll see in the video that I insert, it's like really loose and fluffy around the bottom, like it flares out. But I do like the color. I do like the pattern, and maybe we'll make another one. Maybe try a different yarn with better drape. Super excited that one craft jar project is complete. What else? I have been doing some practicing, trying to learn how to knit. I have been working on a little bit more. You can see, still working with this chunky yarn. I did share with a coworker who is a knitter that I've been learning how to knit, and she pointed out to me that every 4 to 5 rows or so, somehow I'm twisting my yarn. Like the bigger the project gets, and I look back and I can tell it's like every 5th row. So I don't know what I'm doing there. I still haven't figured out how to keep that last stitch tightened, but shout out to Auntie Nikki, the OG antisocial auntie here on the YouTubes. She's been very helpful, giving me some tips and tricks and pointers and recommending some additional videos to watch to kind of help correct my technique. So thank you. I'm definitely going to keep at it. Also, in a previous video, I had shared that I was working on a Caribbean Breeze cardigan using the rest of the yarn that I used for my Christie cardigan, because I only got through like the light colors. I never made it to the darker colors. I started working that up, and when I got to the first color change, I didn't like it. The color change from the burgundy to like the burgundy red mix, it's just so harsh. So I decided to make another Christie cardigan. You can see, oh gosh, it is very evident. So you can see like that color change from the burgundy to the lighter going into the red. It's so dark, but hey, I didn't know what else to do with it, so I have started another one, but to make sure that it is wide enough, because it's those hexagon panels, make sure that it's wide enough to fit across my back. I added this strip of little flowers in the back that's going to connect the 2 hexagons, and I am going to add the ribbing to the sleeves and around the border to this one. I like the other one. It was bigger, it was flowy, but this one I want it to be a little bit more fitted. So usually I'm working on a ton of different things at once, but I think it's because I focused a little bit more on like relaxing and doing a little bit more reading. This month I also picked some reads, so I do have a little bit of a reading update, starting with a book that was not on my list of reads. So I read this book called Forget Me Not by Sarah Willingham. This book was actually a book club read for another book club. I had conflicting engagement come up and I wasn't able to attend, but I did still read the book. I definitely enjoyed the book. I'm not a big like thriller reader. I always know that I am in for an eye-rolling, heart-palpitating experience when the main character is an investigative journalist, because they are just nosy by nature. The next book that I did complete is The Cradle of Ice. That was a ride. Let me tell you, that was a ride. The book was fast-paced. It was a constant barrage of stuff happening, but I enjoyed it. I am going to move on to the third book. This is one of those types of books that I kind of have to sit on for a little bit. So I have to sit on, kind of let the story marinate, reflect on it, and then at some point I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm ready to continue and figure out what's going on. The third book that I finished, which I was pleasantly surprised that I really, really enjoyed, was this one. It's Road of Bones by Demi Winters. It had been recommended to me by someone that it was really good, and I've not read any like Norse mythology or like Viking fantasy. I was pleasantly surprised with this one. I really enjoyed this one. When I reported back to my coworker that I enjoyed reading this book, she was so excited about me loving it that the next day she brought me the rest of the current books that are out in the series. She brought me book 2, book 3, and then there's a 2.5, like a novella. I'm actually excited about continuing this one. I am actually going to prioritize completing this one because these books do not belong to me. And last but not least, that was on my reading list for the month was this book, Talon Sister by Jen Williams. I have barely scratched the surface, and I don't know if you can see where my bookmark is. I think I may have only gotten, I think I read the prologue and maybe like chapter 1 of the book. So I haven't gotten very far in that one either. I don't know if I'll finish it by the end of the month, but I do have time. We do still have another week left in the month for me to at least put a dent in it. That's it. Those are all of the crochet projects that I have been able to finish. What I'm currently working on, which again is not very much. Guess we'll wrap up May and see what June has in store for us. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.